Hello, my name is Mhakey, and welcome back to League Review. This weekend has become one of the craziest weekends we have ever seen on the Rift. We talking upsets, surprise contenders, brilliant jungle performances, not so great jungle performances, the whole works. And this crazy weekend cannot start in a most brilliant of ways. We're gonna kick off the LCK. And by the way, I decided to, instead of just doing it in a single day, like Saturday's matches or Sunday matches, we decided to combine the 2 days and do it in 6 different regions. So each different region will have their own review, their set of review, by the way. And of course, I will do my 3 stars of the LCK, the LEC, the LCS, pretty much coming this week. And also, the NACL cringe casting will continue, of course. And hopefully down the line, my 10th episode of Death of a Team. And we're not going to do any LCS or LEC or any of the LCK or LPL teams. This is going to be a far out team, a team that many people do not know, but should be knowing by watching League for the last couple of years. So all of these things will be coming up in the next couple of days or weeks or months, depending on how I do, of course. But now it is time for me to kick off the league review with the LCK. And holy cow, who have this one coming? Who has KRX? Blanket Noxium Red Force. I mean, not even I did not even believe that KRX could even win a game against Noxium, let alone two. That stuns me, to say the least. So, anyways, the stats. UCal on that game going to Oriana, 10-1-7, 17 KDA, 71 kill participation, and 30.2k damage. And in Lazy Field, hey, I think I have Lazy Field as one of my team moves of the week. He was popping off in Yanara. 7-0-3 with a perfect KDA, 71 kill participation percentage at 20k damage. My 3 stars of the series are UCal 14-3-14 and 9.3 KDA, 74 kill participation at 44.2k damage. Lazyfield 14-9, 11.5 KDA, 61 kill participation at 57.57k damage. And Rich 5-2-14, 9.5 KDA, 50 kill participation at 38.5k damage. And my team of the series was Kingen 3-9-2.6 with a 28% kill participation. Jesus. And a 33.5k damage. I was shocked by this result. Well, not as shocked as pretty much the result I'm going to show you later on. But I was shocked considering how good Najim Red Force has been. Although, KT Rosa just clipped their wings, of course. Which is not surprising considering how really good KT Rosa are right now in the moment. But the fact that he even go in and face up, lose into a KRX team, which, by the way, I think KRX have not won a single series to this point before this game. And of all the teams that, they would lose to, like, they would lose to T1 to be fine, Gen.G will be fine, Hana Live will be fine, to KRX just shocks me just a little bit. I mean, it's just one of those crazy results that happens on a given day. Like, but you had to say, great performance by KRX. I mean, if you look at the numbers right now, I mean, look at some of the players. Rich was a brazen. I think I should have put Rich as my 1st star of the entire series because of what he did with the Yorick 4-1-8 and the Nar 1-1-6. I think both of them just outplay UCal by a country. I think, let me just do this. Since I am in charge of all of this, let me just do this. And there. I think Rich deserves some love. And that means UCal will have to go to the 3rd star. Okay, so there. These are my revision 3 stars. Rich, Lazyfield, and UCal are my 3 stars here. And they pulled off one of the most incredible upsets we have ever seen this weekend in LCK. That is the biggest upset of the weekend. The second biggest upset was Gen.G over DEK. Or, reversibly, D plus Kia just sweeping Gen.G. Yeah, I did not see that coming either. Like I never listen. If you'd have told me that KRX and D plus Kia would have been the ones to sweep both Gen.G and Nash and Red Force, you would have put me on a straight jacket into the insanity home and have me tested for lunacy. That's how crazy it was. I did not see that performance coming from D plus Kia. Now, although you can say that D plus has been Gen.G's bogey team for the last couple of years, which I feel like this upset kind of feels like an upset, but I don't think it is. But considering the level of Gen.G and D plus Kia in the last couple of months, I was thinking this could be an easy Gen.G win, but it didn't. Lose it on the Jarvan, 1, 2, and 10, 5.5 KDA, 85 kill participation, and 10.8k damage. And then Siwoo on the Renekton, 5, 2, and 7, 6 KDA, and 71 kill participation, and 40.4k damage. My three stars of the series are Siwoo at the top, 849, 3.3, 57 kill participation, and 60.7k damage. Lose it on the jungle, 7.3 and 16, 7.7 KDA, 77 kill participation, and 36.2k damage. And then for career, 0, 0, 25 assists. No deaths, no kills, but 25 assists. That is a support you can even support. 14.7k damage. I did not even get the percentage. Let me just look for the percentages, by the way. For Siwoo, for career, there you go. 83% kill participation. And I was like, wow, that is stunning. And also, my team of the series was Canyon, 175 with a point 0.9 KD at 50 kill participation at 20.7k damage. If you're a Gen.G fan, this is troubling. Before the G2 series, your team was invincible, dominated every series, playing the best League of Legends ever seen. But since that G2 series, it just almost had that feeling of, well, the competition in the LCK is better. Don't get me wrong. It is a way better league than many people accounted for. Like, you got so many teams fighting for that top spot and it makes it interesting. But the fact that Gen.G looked like this in this season, I think it's pretty much like, as I said, Canyon, my team of the week, it's pretty much like how the jungle is being played. As you can't, like, it's not as a dominant jungle as it was in the past. And maybe some of the teams kind of figure out Gen.G, or maybe Gen.G kind of like not getting their legs together after all that. It happens for some extent, except for at least one team, of course. But I feel like right now Gen.G is in a slump, and it's fine. It's fine for a big team like this to have a slump. It's okay to have a slump now than it is for later. But consider where you were 2 months ago, and consider where you are now. It is pretty much night and day. It is exactly night and day. I think one of the comments of the forum is saying that it said that the LCK has never been as set harder in 2 weeks. And yeah, I cannot compute what the LCK is like right now. I will get to the standings for all the regions later on. But I will tell you one thing. It is a crazy, crazy league to predict. Craziness. And you have to couple the fact that KT Rollster just absolutely body bag bro like it's nothing. BDD on the Mel. Yeah, Mel. 5 0 and 7, perfect KDA, 71 kill participation, 16.9k damage. And then perfect on the NAR, 4 1 and 6, 10 KDA, 56 kill participation, and 25.1k damage. My 3 stars are BDD, 9 0 and 14 with a perfect KDA, 66 kill participation, and 38k damage. And then perfect 6 1 11, 17 KDA, 49 kill participation, and 37.5k damage. And Aiming 18 0 and 12 with a perfect KDA, 86 kill participation percentage, and 40.6k damage. And my team of the series was Loki, 1-8-1 with a .3 KDA. Disgusting. 50 kill participation at 23.7k damage. And my God, I feel like right now KT Rollster are looking like the best team in the world right now. To some extent. I think they and BLG are fighting to be like who's going to be the best team in the world so far. And KT Rollster are looking like literally the part. Look at this. I think KT Rollster did not even got deathed until around, let's just say, about it. I need you combine this with a 24-minute game. I didn't have it die since like about 45 minutes in game time. Like KT Roser did not get a death until 45 minutes into the game in both games. That's how dominant it was. It was an absolute beatdown by pretty much a really good team. If you're a Laura, man, Laura is having a time of her life with this KT roster team. Now, of course, the rule about KT roster is you never get excited about KT roster ever. But I think you got to say that this is a pretty good team and a pretty good start for this this split. Or by the way, for this part of the split, because of course this is the LCK season, not the split. But for now, this KT roster look absolutely good. They are head and shoulders above the rest. They're top of the the LCK charts, and they are looking like gangbusters. Like wow. Anyways, the other series I'm going to talk about is Fearx versus DNS. They finally get a win, Fearx. I know it's against DNS. Listen, I know it's against Supers, but they finally get a win. And Kellen and Diable look like absolute gods. First on Kellen, 1-1 and 19 on a Nico 20 KDA, 91 kill participation at 14k damage. Get a support that does 14k damage, and I will say I will honor you. I will literally honor you if you get 14k damage on your support. And then a Diable show, as per usual, with the Ash, 7-1 and 6, 13 KDA, 87 kill participation, 22.2k damage. And Fearx finally get their first win. I think I need to look at the stats. I think Fearx have not won a series since first stand. Let me just look at their match history, by the way. I want to look at that match history. I think they have, oh yeah, they have not won a series since they beat Secret Wales in first stand. And if you want to go further, they have not, I don't think they have beaten any quality team. Well, they beat T1. They beat T1 in LCK. So this is their first, oh wait, I think this is their first LCK win since they beat D plus Kia to get to the finals, which is on the last day of February, by the way. And this is their first ever win in a series since the 18th of March. We're closer to like a month since Fearx's last win. And since then, they've lost to a really good G2 team, then to a questionable Brion team, and then they lost to like Gen.G and LYON Esports, which is like no problem, I guess. So for them to have an 0-3 start, it's not as shocking considered that this team was never supposed to be being there, but kind of shocking because of their high standards. I guess you can say that I was never expected this team to do much going into first stand and beyond. That's what I'm going to say. They're probably going to be a middle of a pack team, kind of like certain other teams in the league. So that is the LCK for you. And of course, it's a pretty interesting league to look at. And by the way, normally I'll give you the standings, but I decided to give you the standings right now in the LCK. So let me just see. By the way, these are the LEC standings. We're gonna get the LEC, by the way. And let's just see. I'm gonna wait. Okay, there you go. LCK standings. KT roster are on top. They have not lost a series yet. And oh, by the way, they have beaten T1, Gen.G, and by the way, they haven't faced LYON Esports yet until week 5. And they got D plus, who by the way did beat Gen.G, guys. Careful about the banana sleep. And of course against Fearx, of course. So I'm not saying that KT roster are gonna go in undefeated, but my god, what a start. Then you got LYON Esports, you got Gen.G and D plus and Nongshim and T1 and DRX, Queen Boom DRX, by the way, based on sponsors. All in 2-2. This is a packed midfield, of course. And they got Fearx finally going to win again. Brion and Supers in the bottom, Soup, of course. So it's a really interesting time if you're an LCK fan learning about this competitiveness on this league. Okay, that concludes the LCK, and we will shift now into the LPL. Just give me one whole minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back for some LPL review. First, we got some Group Ascend and Group Nevada. First, we go to Group Ascend, which is LGD versus OMG. First off, OMG on Hacho. He was marvelous on that Zoe. Absolutely marvelous on that Zoe. 6-0-3 with a perfect KDA with a nice 69 kill participation at 21.9k. And then it was a Xiao Yi show on the LGD team. First on the affiliates, 9-1 and 4-4 on a 13 KDA, 81 kill participation at 23.4k damage. And then on the Corky, 9-1 and 5, perfect KDA, 88 kill participation at 36.4k damage. Three stars are Xiaoyu, L on 80 carry, 19, 4, and 10, 7.3 KDA, 73 kill participation at 23.5k damage. And then YCX, 1, 2, and 8, 28, 14.5 KDA, 73 kill participation at 5.4k damage. And then Hong, 7, 4, and 14, 5.3 KDAs, 56 kill participation at 11.3k damage. Rio or Rizzo, I don't know what's his name. 0, 10, and 13 on OMG, 1.3 KDA, 73 kill participation percentage at 10.7k damage. You go 10 deaths on jungle with no kills in a jungle meta that's pretty much dominated. You cannot win those awards. I'm sorry, you just cannot win those awards. And now it's time. I think it is time for the. Wait, do I miss a matchup? Let me just see if I miss a matchup. Just hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Akeem. I think I missed a matchup. Hold up. So I supposed to have one on Saturday and two on Saturday and two on Sunday. Actually, there's only two on Saturday and two on Sunday. Hold up. So WEIG. Okay, yeah. I think I got this right. I just checking. Speaking of those two O's, we're gonna talk about IG's 2-0 over Team WE. I don't think there's nothing much to say. Way on the Jarvan, 9, 3, and 14, 7.7 KDA, 100 kill participation percentage. Yes, that's 100%. 19.4k damage, and then Breed on top Scion, 5, 0, and 7, perfect KDA, 75 kill participation, and 18.1k damage. Breed 8 0 15, perfect KDA, 59 kill participation at 49.7k damage. And then Way on the jungle, 11 5 23, 6.8 KDA, 87 kill participation at 32.6k damage. Mako 2 2 and 23, 12.5 KDA, 90 kill participation and 18.8k damage. My team of the series is Cube. Oh my goodness, Cube. Oh, I think I remember Cube for a long time ago from Rare Adam, way down there from like 3 years ago, and he's just Cube becoming a square, man. That Cube is no longer a cube. He's a square. He's an absolute square. Cube. I mean, Cube is pretty much like you know, Cube. Listen, it is one thing. It. I need to listen. This is a picture of Cube, guys. This is a picture of Cube. This is literally a picture of Cube. This is Cube right now. This is Cube from TWE, guys. He is an actual Cube. Like, look at him. All the symmetricals, all the beauty, but just none of the fundamentals, man. He. Look at him. That's Cube right now playing for WB. That's literally Cube playing for WB. And he went 4, 8, and 1, 0.6 KDA, 28 kill participation percentage, had a 39.8k damage. Jesus Christ. And listen, I don't have nothing much to say. I just absolutely clap WE's cheeks like it's nothing. Speaking of clapping cheeks, Toppies will just clap JDG's cheeks. And I was expecting a really close series between these two eternal rivals of this team. Maybe go 3-game series, but unfortunately, Top Esports have other ideas. First, Cream on Cassiopeia. 5, 0, and 4, perfect KDA, 50% kill participation. I need to be slower, Akeem. 17.9k damage. Tien on the Fury, 10, 0, and 3, perfect KDA, 72 kill participation and 19.5k damage. Like, this guy was a heat-seeking miracle all over. And this is pretty much why Tien is probably one of the best junglers in the league. And it's not okay. One of the best junglers. Like, you can say that Sean is one of the good, and Tarzan, but he's one of the best. He's one of the best, and he was good to win the very first star. 14-2-16 with a 15 KDA, 83 kill participation at 19.5k damage. Jackie Love also gets some love, 12, 5, and 14 with a 5.2 KDA, a 72 kill participation and 25.3k damage. And then Fang Wei on the support, 06 and 25 with a 4.2 KDA, 70% kill participation and 6.6k damage. My team of the series was Gala. Gala, man, you're better than this. 4, 6, and 7, 1.8 KDA, 47 kill participation, and 24.7k damage. Like, they just wipe JDG off the floor like it's nothing. Like, it's absolutely nothing. And if you're thinking that is brutal, BLG just put Weibo Gaming into the sword. Like, if you want to know how really brutal that is, I decided to put none of the players on Weibo as my team of the series. Because they did try and make this game pretty challenging for BLG, but just BLG just look way good right now. Way good. And I believe that is now 12 series in a row that BLG has won since their last loss against anyone's legend. I think this is now 12 series in a row. I need to check again. I know, but I have to check again. I have to make sure that I have to check again. I have to check again. This is now 12 series in a row. Let's just see. They lost to anyone's legend, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 series. Yes, that's 12 series in a row that BLG has won. In fact, they have only lost what 2 games since the very first game of first stand, which they will shake against Ferex. In fact, you have to go. In fact, combine first stand and right now, they have only lost 4 games. 4 games in total, all from first stand until now. This is what you call domination. Domination from a first stand champion. And I think Nymeria said it in his cast, by the way, that winning first stand, and I think I said it again so much times, and I want to say it again. Winning first stand just elevates BLG to something they have never experienced before. It feels like kind of like Rory McIlroy winning a Masters from last year. And oh, by the way, congratulations to him. He's now back-to-back Masters champion. Well deserved for him. It almost had that feeling of like once you win your first, you get the confidence, the belief, and you can feel like you are invincible. Well, not totally invincible. They lost the game to JDG, but they look like a really dominant team. Now, here's a little irony that they'll face off again in the Esports World Cup China qualifier, and then you got Top Esports, and they got IG, and then you got BL, and you got Anyone's Legend. So they got really tough games coming up, but right now for BLG to go 12 in a row and look dominant, looking absolutely the most dominant team in all of the world right now is just, listen, KT Rolls may be the best team right now, but BLG are still like levels above everybody else. Can you believe they're right in the golden road right now? Can you believe they're golden rolling this year? BLG? You would have thought. You would have thought, I guess. Anyways, for the series, I don't have much to say. Knight on Mel. Again. Listen, let's be honest. I do not like Mel. I think everybody just agrees with me that people do not like Mel. Even if a player plays well on Mel, I just cannot feel like you just won because champion is broken XYZ. Not because you're pretty good. If you were playing like a different champion and do well in those numbers, fine, I'll give you that. But if you play like Mel, I think I might disqualify you. But if you play well on Mel and your name is Knight, then I cannot penalize you enough. 13-11 on a perfect KDA, 92 kill participation at 42.3k damage. And then a Jun on the Fury, 10-3-9, 6.3 KDA, 76 kill participation at 21.1k damage. My 3 stars of the series are Knight, 18, 2, and 23, 20.5 KDA, 80 kill participation at 34.5k damage. Ben, 8, 3, and 21, 9.7 KDA, 57 kill participation at 23.7k damage. And then Viper, 11, 5, and 18, 5.8 KDA, 57 kill participation at 38.3k damage. And by the way, I decided to put no Weibo Gaming on the team of the series because I don't think they deserve their beaten because they got beaten by one of the best teams in the world. And they did try to make this an uncomfortable series for BLG, but BLG just way too good. They're just way too good right now, and they look like heads and shoulders above pretty much all of the LPL in the world right now. And as you can see from the standings, you see that BLG are on top of Group Ascend along with Invictus Gaming. Like 1 and 2, of course, they will face off, I guess, this week. They'll face off again. They'll face off this week, and that will be on the Saturday. That will be the first game on Saturday. And that will be a test. Although BLG will have to face against Top Esports, and IG will take on Weibo. And Weibo could be like a weird team. They could get crushed by BLG one day and then beat IG the next. That's how really weird this team is. I think that's pretty much Nightmare's words, not mine. So both of them have tougher games coming up before they face each other. And then you got Top Esports 3-1, and then NIP 2-1, which, oh, by the way, a little breaking news, of course, a little business news, that NIP is no longer Sweden team, it's Abu Dhabi's team. So they went from being this lovely team in Sweden to be another one of those blood money ownership teams. It is what it is in the world of esports, I guess. And then JDG 1-2, and then Anyone's Legend 1-2, and then Weibo and Team WE are in the bottom. And then for Group Nevada, they're just getting their feet comfortable, of course. EDG and LGD just won. Thunder Talk and Ultra Prime have not played yet, and then LNG, OMG just lost their game. So it's just getting started from the Group Nevada, of course. So yeah, BLG are the best team in the world, and I don't think anyone can stop them for now, of course. All right, time to switch gears from the East to the West. And I'm talking about European West, by the way. Okay, we are back. And now we have to shift focus to the LEC. And we're going to talk about two teams in specific that is having one weirdly good weekend and another one who have a rough weekend. Let's just talk about the rough weekend first. Team Heretics. I mean, not a great weekend for them. And yes, Navi and Common Corp are kind of like one of the pretty decent, good teams in the LEC so far. But even then, like, just getting railed on both of those series, it just doesn't feel great at all. First, they face up against Navi. And by the way, Finn was casted with Medic, by the way. Polby was dominated in both games, like dominated. This is probably the first time I get to say that Polby looking really good. That is not like a top team. I mean, the last time he was playing, he was in Fnatic, and you don't know Fnatic with the high expectations and winning and the pressure and the scrutiny you get. Now he's playing for a team that I'm not saying they're good enough to win LEC, but just feel like they are not as highly touted with fandom and craziness as you see with Fnatic and Carmen Corp. It almost feels like Polby is right at home, and he looks brilliant in that series. First, the Aurora, 4-1-9, 13 KDA with an 81 kill participation and 20.1k damage. And then Ari, 8-0-10. Perfect KDA, 82 kill participation at 17.9k damage. For my 3 stars of the series, I go with Polby, 12-1-19, 31 KDA, 82 kill participation at 38k damage. That's brilliant. And then Paulus on the support. We have to give some other team players some love. This is why I put 3 stars, because I don't have to put one good player on the team. I have to give 3 players because I want to give them some love. 2, 3, and 33, 11.7 KDA, 92 kill participation at 13.6k damage. And then Rylich, 8, 2, and 19 on the jungle, 18.5 KDA, 71 kill participation at 31.6k damage. My team of the series was Ice 4, 9, and 3, 0.8 KDA, and 58 kill participation at 27.5k damage. Okay, so you get crushed by Navi. That is bad enough. But if you think that is bad enough, Carmen Corp was brutal. Was absolutely brutal. It's like, this series should be watched on an exotic website at 2 a.m. in the morning. In fact, the first game should be X-rated for like 18-year-olds. This was brutal. This was horribly brutal. By the way, Busio is a support, by the way. He's the best support in all the West. And he got more kills in this game than all of Carmen Corp combined. I was not joking. He got 6 kills to list 5. He has more kills than the entire Carmen Corp team can handle. He's got the most kills as Seraphine. This is how you know how bad this game was for Heretics fans. And trust me, listen, you lost to Common Corp, that is fine. But even this is brutal. Busio, 6-0-8. As a support, I just cannot believe that Busio support get that much of a KDA, but here we are. Perfect KDA, 88 kill participation at 5.7k damage. And then Yike on the Pantheon, he was brilliant, 5-0-9, perfect KDA, 61 kill participation at 16k damage. Yike 8-0-15, perfect KDA, 59 kilobits of vision at 28k damage, and then Yahoo 8-3-15, 7.7 KDA, 59 kilobits of vision at 36.4k damage, and then Busio 8-0-24, perfect KDA, 82 kilobits of vision at 12.6k damage. He got 6 of the 8 kills in one game. That's just disgusting. For my team of the series, I go with Seren 0-8-1 with a .1 KDA with a 20 kill participation at 13.4k damage. .1 KDA? What the hell, dude? Yeah, rough week if you're a Heretics fan, of course. If you're a Vitality fan, whoo, what a week for you. What a week for you. Let's just start with the obvious. Let's start with the G2 series, in which I did not even have the stats for, the game 2 and game 3. Whoopsies. Yeah, let me just do my fixing of the stats and I'll come back to you. Okay, I got the stats for all the games between G2 and Vitality. I will get to G2 later, okay? I will get to you later, G2. Let's talk about Vitality first. And I had to say Vitality deserved this series win. Let me just wait a minute. Where's the notes? Hold up, where's the notes? Hold up. Where are the notes? Okay, where are the notes? Where are the notes? Where are the notes? Okay, there it is. There it is. Let me just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, guys. Just give myself a minute, okay? Okay. That's just Shafana. All right. Do just trying. Okay, just trying to make sure that I get everything sorted out. Okay. I will get to G2 later. I was in a mess, of course. Let's talk Vitality versus G2. And I I'm confused about this Vitality team. I think you could say that they are, like, to quote a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, they are the worst 5-1 team ever, but you just heard of me. You just heard of it. They're like the weirdest 1-5-1 team I've ever seen in all of like LEC. But they are a 5-1 team. And that's something you can never be scoffed at. Also, how do I begin? This was a weird series, to be honest. I mean, the first game lasted 52 minutes. Like 52 minutes. Like, what the hell? And if you look at this entire goal graph, by the way, you can say that G2 were dominating this game. 4-point K goal lead. Like, the game was stretched to almost 6K goal lead. They had a 6K goal lead around 39 minutes. G2 Esports in first stand would have taken that goal lead and would have won. But look at the time, like 39 minutes, and then it stretched and stretched and stretched and then scaled and scaled and scaled until Vitality just won the game. And it's like, you're a G2 fan, like, this is just so infuriating. But I had to give Knock Knock his flowers. On Aurora, 4-2-9, 6.5 KDA, 68 kilobits per billion at 37.6k damage. He was brilliant. He was holding the team up front, and I I just don't know how Vitality won that game. I mean, Vitality are kind of like the most resilient team in all of LEC. Is like, yeah, the game is over. We can still win, but it's not, like they keep finding. They just keep finding the ways. They just keep chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping until it's like nothing. Like, they gotta. I mean, Vitality have staring at a 6K goal lead, and it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. They keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting until they manage to win, and it's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable from them. And then it was Caps, brilliant as per usual. 7-1-3 on a LeBlanc, 10 KDA, 71 kill participation at 33.7k damage. And you think to yourself, okay, G2 should probably win. And then game 3, G2 have 1 kill, and that was a Skumon. That is it. Just what the fuck, G2? What in the absolute fuckery is this? What is this draft? And listen. Here's the kicker. Here's the thing. Listen, I will give Dylan Falco and this G2 team the enough, leniency that I have, because this is a standard G2 draft. If they played like any meta, of course, they would have lose like 9 times out of 10, especially against LCK teams. I was just thinking to myself, okay, G2. In my brain, this comp makes sense, but in reality, it's just like What the fuck? Like, and I'm not saying this to like destroy all G2 fans. I'm just saying like this is just not it, man. This thing is not it. I mean, Nako, once again, my MVP for this game. 4-1-1 in the Aatrox, 5 KDA, 63 kill precipitation at 16.8k damage. He's my first star, by the way. 10, 5, and 11, 4.2 KDA, 62 kill precipitation at 66k damage. Karzi was on something. 10, 4, and 14, 6 KDA, 71 kill precipitation at 93.5k damage. And then Fleshy on the support, 4, 6, and 22, 4.3 KDA, and 76 kill precipitation at 21.8k damage. And once again, Broken Blade is my team move of the series. 3, 8, 14, 2.1 KDA, 59 kill precipitation, and 49.k damage. I think you can say that maybe I could have given it to maybe Hansama, but I think Hansama will give the benefit of the doubt because he was the one brilliant. He was brilliant on the Inara, 9, 3, and 4, and did not do enough. I think I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Cass was brilliant in game 2. I cannot kill him. And then I think you could say that Skewmon was not great in the first game and not great in the third game. But he was fine in the second game, of course. But if you look at Broken Blade stats, 1, 5, and 7, and then 2, 2, and 6, he was okay. He was okay. And then that Zion game is like, Broken Blade, man, are we gonna have another conversation about you being crap in the LEC again? It's like the same conversation. It's like he is not great in the LEC. He's not good, and then all of a sudden he turns it up. It's like, dude, pick a lane, man. It's like, oh, G2 regular season just frustrates me. I'm not saying that G2 can dominate in the regular season. I'm not saying that, but at least be decent enough to like be like top 2 or top 3. If you just keep getting yourselves in like top 5 or top 6, eventually you're gonna get caught up. Eventually you get caught up by your Common Corps, or maybe Vitality again, or your MCoys, or your Fanatics. Who knows? But if you can keep playing this, dancing around the fire, and just saying if we make playoffs, we'll be fine. Like, no, you're not. You might get eliminated in your first round by any team. Any team can beat you on a given day, especially in a best of 5. So I am a little bit worried with G2. I am hectically worried about G2. The same way I'm worried about when T1 or Gen.G did not do well. Like, I expected better from my top teams. And it's hard, I get it, but look at BLG and look at BLG right now. Look at the team that you lost to in first stand. Look at how they're doing right now. They are clapping every team like it's left, right, and center. Like, Yannick Sinner just dominated Carlos Alcaraz to win Monte Carlo. And that is true, by the way. Like, look at that. Just slapping left, right, and center. Like, what are you doing, G2? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this team? Oh, anyways, let's just continue with the Vitality love. Because they were playing against Shifters and another WTF series, of course, in which Shifters finally won a game. Yay! Yes, they finally won a game. That's great. Congratulations. Give themselves a clap. Wonderful. I need to give them a trophy or something. I just need a participation trophy or participation plaque, whichever comes first. Paddock on the as well, 7-1-4, 11 KDA, 58 kill participation, and 31.6k damage. And the feel-good factor just ran out by Vitality. Yanara 8, 6, 1, and 6 by Karzi, 14 KDA, and then 74 kill participation and 19.9k damage. And then Linkas on the Aatrox, 5, 1, and 8, 13 KDAs, 59 kill participation and 17.7k damage. My 3 stars of the series are Linkas, 10, 6, and 19, 4.8 KDA, 60 kill participation at 39.5k damage. And Karzi, 17, 6, and 17, 5.7 KDA, 71 kill participation at 70.3k damage. And then Humanoid, 14, 7, 11, 3.6 KDA, and 49.8k damage. My team of the series was Rooster, 8, 9, and 9, with a 1.9 KDA, 50 kill participation, and 58.1k damage. Like, if you are, you won the if you're Vitality, you won the series, but do you feel like you won the series considering you lost to Shifters in the first round? I don't think so. And again, I'm not saying this listen. Let's look at the standings. Just let me look at the standings. And by the way, I have probably like one more game to talk about. By the way, and maybe I should talk about the game right now, or should I do it later? But I'll do the standings right now. They're 5-1. Okay, they're 5-1. Great, but they look like one of the weirdest 5-1 teams I've ever seen in terms of like They're fun, they're good, but they always like drag the games out so late, and they kind of like keep finding their way to victory, which is great. It's just great if you're doing that. But when it comes to the playoffs, and when everything is going to get exposed to the minutity of this one, I don't think Vitality is going to hold that up. Listen, Vitality first place, congratulations, but I ain't showing that's going to hold up. Of course, it may not going to hold up. Of course, so 5-1, great, but they might get playoffs by next week or so. But I'm kind of skeptical about Vitality. In fact, I'm skeptical about the LEC as a whole. Except Common Corp, who looks absolutely great, are 2-0. I know the schedules is kind of skewed because, of course, road shows and all the kind of stuff is going to be taken care of. Giant 3-0, Navi 3-1, Movie Star 2-2, G2 and Fnatic are battling for 5th and 6th and 7th. I mean, guys, if you hadn't told me that G2 and Fnatic would have been battling for like last playoff spots in like what 5 years, you would have laughed. But this is just a sad sight to see. And then Shifter is 0-2, 1-4 SK Gaming, and 1-5 Heretics. I think these three teams are going to be out of here by week's end. And by the way, I'm going to talk about the movie Koi's SK. And sadly, I did not have the movie Koi XK series because I'm an idiot and did not put any stats. So if I may, I will have to put some stats in a couple of minutes. So just give me a couple of minutes and then we'll put in some stats and talk about the. Yeah. Okay. Got the stats for MCoy versus SK, which is good. Thank God. And also a little weird thing. Fedia's cast in a game. I've never thought I'd say the words, but in the year of our Lord 2026, Vedios is casting games. Where the heck is Daniel Dracos when you need one? Anyway, Super was dominating this series. First on Israel, 5-0-12 with a perfect KDA, 77 kill participation at 65.2k damage. And then he was good on Silver, 7-0-3, perfect KDA, 83 kill participation at 41.4k damage. Super 12-0-15, perfect KDA, 79 kill participation at 106.k damage, 106.k damage. Like, Jesus. Whew. That's wow. And then Jojo Pian, 7-3-19, 8.7 KDA, 76 kill participation at 72.6k damage. And then Elioya, 9.97 and 16, 3.6 KDA, 34 kill participation at 36.9k damage. And my team of the series was later again, 3-13-8, 0.8 KDA, 48 kill participation at 38.9k damage. He needs to get out of the league. He needs to literally get out of the SK. He needs to not even play SK anymore. In fact, if I were the SK management, which by the way, I don't think SK management is going to do anything about it, they should kick him out right now and put in an ERL player. Like, I just listen. Let's be honest. If you look at the standings, SK are not SK are going to be SK are done. SK are literally done right now. They're in bottom tier. They're literally in bottom tier. Like like allowing Mhakey.exe to dictate the team. It's not great. The management doing all the stuff in Cologne is not great. Like this SK team is just looking like a shell of their usual selves. Like years ago, SK Gaming was one of the premier teams in all of League. Not saying good enough to beat a G2 or Fnatic, but like one of the top tiers in like League of Legends. And now look at this. Look at this. Reduced to crap. It is shameful display after shameful display, man. I mean, we need new management. Get the heck out. All right. I need to go to LCS before I'm going to go lose myself. So LCS coming right up. Okay, now let's go to the LCS. Let's just go with the matchup that just finished. Sentinels versus Cloud9, which was a weird series. Like an absolute weird series to talk about. From a statistical and narrative standpoint, Cloud9 win the series, but I just don't have that. But then again, you listen to APA talking and just saying that, they scrimming and, this team used to be like, not so great in like the late portion of the game, but they're kind of slowly fixing it. But it just makes the series kind of like wonky, to be honest. And they and LYON are kind of like fighting to see like the weirdest, funkiest team ever. And I think David pretty much said it in his co-stream. It's going to be really hard to see a C9 LYON rematch again. I just don't have that feeling, of course, between these two. But let's get to the Cloud9 Sentinel series, of course. First on Vulcan on the board, 3-0-12, perfect KDA, 88 kill participation, and 8.3k damage. And then Rael looking absolutely incredible in Caitlyn. 5-1-4, 9 KDA, 82 kill participation, and 24.1k damage. But Sven, right back at you on Yanara, 4-1-5, 9 KDA, 64 kill participation, and 64 kill participation, and 15.4k damage. Blabber is the first star, 6'5" and 26, 6.4 KDA, 76 kill points per minute, and 42.6k damage. And then Thanatos, 11, 6, and 8, 3.2 KDA with 45 kill points per minute and 70.2k damage. And Royale, 9, 4, and 13. And yes, I have to give a Sentinel player some love. 9, 4, and 13, 5.5 KDA at 85 kilobytes per minute at 60.9k damage. Hambach is my team of the series, 5, 8, and 10, 1.9 KDA, 58 kilobytes per minute and 50.6k damage. So we got the expected result, but pretty much the weirdness, of course. Speaking of another expected result with weirdness, Gen.G and LYON. Like, I was going in thinking like a LYON clean sweep 2-0, and then the first game happened, and it just like, I feel disgusted. But XU, Mr. XU, is good to win game one, but sadly, my team of the series. And let's just give him some praise in the first game, of course. He was brilliant on the Xinjiao. 2-0-6, perfect KDA, 62 kill per minute, and 12.9k damage. Just turn around, Dignitas his fortune in that first game with all his laws. And then it was Berserker on the Caitlyn, 6-0-3, perfect KDA, 90 kill per minute, and 27.3k damage. And then once again, it's Big Dokes on the Vayne top. Again, 10-1-5 with a 15 KDA, 68 kill per minute at 24.9k damage. Berserker is my first star, 12, 3, and 18, 10 KDA, 79 kill per minute at 69.8k damage. And then Dokla, 15, 6, and 8, 3.8 KDA, 61 kill per minute at 56.1k damage. And then Inspired, 6, 5, and 16 with a 4.4 KDA. Just see if I can get the percentage and the damage. Just give me a minute. Hold up. Just give me a minute. It's gonna come. Hold up. And yes, 58 kill participation. Oh, come on. 50. Okay, the schedule is okay. I think this is a schedule. Okay, I'll just try this again. 58 kill participation at 28.8k damage. Listen, I like to apologize because I like to apologize for not getting these stats going in because it was a busy night of watching all the games, watching all the highlights, and then of course, the Masters being like the front and center, of course, and big important soccer games, of course, like can't believe Arsenal are gonna bottle it. Oh my god, if Bash would have rolled over and die, I guess. By the way, he's used to be our friend, and he was an Arsenal fan. He would roll over and die, literally. So a lot of busy stuff, and I didn't get any stats, so I like to apologize in advance. But Spire 58 kill per minute and 28.8k damage, and then my team of the series was XU 3, 9, and 11, 1.6 KDA, 58 kill per minute and 37.5k damage. So LYON win the series, but again, losing to Dignitas in the first game just raises a lot of red flags. I feel like Cloud9 and LYON are kind of like two teams that raises a lot of red flags throughout this entire split so far. You know what else doesn't have a red flag? Team Liquid. In the LCS report derby between Cloud Skiki and David comes on top. And although game 2 was not easy, Morgan made the difference on the Jace, 5-1-5, 10 KDA, 59 kill per minute, and 31.8k damage. Game 2 was something else until it wasn't, of course. Core JJ was a brilliant on Seraphine, 5-0-16, perfect KDA, 84 kill per minute, and 6.2k damage. He's my second star, 7-2-25, 16 KDA, 76 kill per minute, at 16k damage. Morgan is my top star, 10-1-10, 20 KDA, 48 kill per minute at 49.9k damage. I mean, I gotta say, Morgan is looking absolutely feel right at home. Like many people question about Morgan, especially in the first split, and that's fine, but Morgan feels really much right at home right now. So far, so good. And then LYON 8-2-18, 13 KDA, 62 kill per minute, and 50.4k damage. My team of the series was B Void, 1-7-10, 1.6 KDA, 65 kill per minute, and 47.1k damage. Yeah, he did not have a great series. And then just came before Sentinel's Cloud9 was disguised towards FlyQuest, and it was not even close. This was the Griffinn show. And my boy Griffinn just put up some absolute work in there. Great on Nocturne, 3-1-10, 13 KDA, 57 kill per minute, and 12.5k damage. And then on the Pantheon, 6-0-12, perfect KDA, 20.5k damage. And then he was my first star, 9-1-22, 31 KDA, 70 kill participation, 32.9k damage. And then Gakko, 7-1-20, 27 KDA, 61 kill participation, 61% kill participation, and 39.9k damage. And then Masu, 17-4-12, 7.3 KDA, 66 kill participant, and 56.7 KDA. My team of the series was Kyra on the jungle, 1-9-2, 0.3 KDA, and 33 kill participation percentage at 20.8k damage. There is nothing to do. Griffinn was absolutely smurfing on that team and well deserved of the LCS Player of the Week, which he rightly deserved. Okay, I think it's time. I think I have 2 regions left. I think I have enough time. I don't know. I think I have 10 minutes left. So, if I may, I will have to do some quick hitters on some of the series. Not gonna do all the series, but I'm gonna do some quick hitters on the LCP and CBLOL. So, we're gonna pause a little bit and then come back with some little rapid fire on the LCP and CBLOL. Okay, it's time for some rapid fire, which means that I'm gonna go through the CBLOL and the LCP, not in stats, but just some big notes on some of the other games. First off, let's go with CFO DFM and big win for Shadow. He was brilliant. 24 and 5 and 17, 8.2 KDA, but an 82 kill participation and 57.6k damage. Brilliant on Lee Sin, brilliant on Fi. He deserved the win. MVK versus Gam. And look at game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Dark Star is my third game pog for Shyvana. And by the way, this Shyvana, the brand new Shyvana. I'm glad that I kept that in a wallpaper, of course, throughout all the time. And Dark Star just played absolutely out of his mind in a really long ass game. Like a really long ass game. T Secret Wells just beat DCG. I don't think I have nothing much to say, of course, other than Hitso and Eddie was absolutely incredible, especially on Fury. Hitso was amazing. 8-0-10 on the Fury. He's just absolutely a godsend. And then, of course, Games Over is, Hawk Bank. And then game two comp just feels like an absolute war crime. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But let me just see. If game two, if game two draft looks like this, if your game two draft looks like this, you should forfeit the game immediately. If you're drafting opponent, and I'm just put the game two sets. If you're drafting opponent is a Mel, Yumi, and Zeri, if you have those 3 hated champions in your league, like I'm sorry, if you have those 3 champions on your solo queue, you should forfeit the league right now. You should uninstall League of Legends right now. If you see these 3 in your solo queue, you should pretty much uninstall it, play pretty derby, play some gold ship, and that's it. That's pretty much your life right now. If you see these 3, you should uninstall. Anyways, I'm not gonna hate on SoftBank Kong. They won the game. Vista on Yumi. Jesus. Vista on Yumi with a 0-1-3, 13 performance. I just can't right now. And I think that's it for LCP. Just recently on the Loud and Lost in the CBLOL. Yeah, Young Jay was absolutely incredible in the first game, and then Zyno was brilliant in the second game. Lost just absolutely looked lost and just dominated by Loud. And then Red and Pain, not too close steps, and Kaz was absolutely brilliant. Mostly on Kaz, which is 12-2-2 on the side. It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant performance. Furia Leviton, nothing too much to say, of course. IU was brilliant. Toots was brilliant. Furia was brilliant, of course. And then VKX just eviscerated, Fluxo's W7. That's like 4-2-0 sweeps this entire weekend, which is absolutely brilliant. Let's just look at the standings on both regions, if I may, if I have the time. And of course, I will do that and then do the matches. So let's look at the CBLOL standings. And if you look at the CBLOL standings, and by the way, there's some games tomorrow for CBLOL, which is weird enough to say because I was thinking there were games on weekend and that's it, and I never thought we have CBLOL games. So, anyways, Red Cannons are 3-0, Furia, Loud, Vivo Kians, and Laws are 2-1, and then you got Fluxio, W7M at 1-3, and Leviton and Pain are slowly at the bottom. And then for LCP, I am going to wait just a minute until all of this is processing up so I can just go to the LCP standings. I'm just gonna wait just a little bit. Okay. Should I go split two? I split two. Split two for the LCP. And yes, so we got the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks game in SHG being top of the table, along with Secret Wells, which, by the way, are the favorites to win the whole thing. NVK, GZ Gaming, CTBT Fly Noiser, and Gamma 1-1, and Deep Cross Gaming, and Detonation Focus Me at the bottom. And that concludes all the recap. And let me just show you the matches for tomorrow. You'll probably see the matches over there, but let me just show you the matches tomorrow. Fnatic SK Gaming, this used to be one of the best matches in League of Legends like 20 years ago, but now it's just not good. And then Giants is going to clap Shifters. I can just feel it in my bones. And then tomorrow we got CBLOL unexpectedly. Pain versus Furia, Leviton versus Red. I believe that this Furia and Red is going to destroy those teams. And then if you tickle your fancy, you got Esports World Cup Chinese qualifiers. BLG JDG, and Weibo versus anyone's legend if you're fancy or have a stream, of course. That concludes all the recaps, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wild one. It's congratulations to Yannick Sinner for winning Monte Carlo, and congratulations to Rory McIlroy for winning another Masters. Yeah, he's the fourth player to ever do 2 Masters in a row. That's just amazing. Just amazing from him. And that concludes the recap, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this whole thing, like, comment, subscribe for more League of Legends stuff. We're closer to 100 subscribers, of course, so please, please, please sub to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am desperate for 100 subscribers. Like, look at my channel right now. It is stuck on 87 for the longest while. And listen, I know I'm not asking much, but if you can subscribe to this channel right now, I will be happy to. And let me just see if I can do it there. Or maybe not. I'm not gonna do it there. But I'll think of something once we get to 100 subscribers. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Just do whatever you want. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all next time.